I'll see y'all at the live. All right, boom. So we're in the live. Let's go ahead and look at some musical analyzations. What I need is complete cooperation from everyone, not just Braylon, not just Brooklyn, not just Nakiri or Antarius. I need everybody in the comments. Once you get to the live feed, once you're here, I need you to go ahead and comment, Mr. Kennedy, I am here. I am on the live. So I can make sure you guys are in the chat and you guys are communicating with me in the chat. That is very important that I have everyone communicating so we all understand. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started, right? Go ahead and pull up the piece. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very important that I have everyone communicating so we all understand. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started, right? Somebody needs to mute their mic. Who is this? Somebody mute your mic. All right, so first thing we're going to analyze is this piece today called Clouds, right? So let's go ahead and pull up the real piece, Loudus, Clouds. And Clouds is by Shaka Khan. Boom. All right, so we're going to pull up Clouds by Shaka Khan. Who is E. Gotti? Who is E. Gotti? So who is E. Gotti? Let me see. All right, cool. So this is the real song, right? Southern made this song famous. We all loved it, but this is the real song. So we're gonna check out the real song, right? So first thing you want to do when oh, first thing you want to do when analyzing any piece. Okay. I got you, Erica. I got you. So that's hot. E Gotti. She do rap like she a kingpin. And she got bars. You know what I'm saying? She finally let me hear them. You know what I'm saying? She let me hear one of her songs, the gorilla song, as her mama call it. But so when analyzing a piece, if you're new to this, if you're new to the terms, you want to pay attention to two things, right? One of the first terms you want to get the grips with is unison, monophonic, meaning if there was the melody, did everybody play the same part? That's something that you want to pay attention to. The counter melody is what's happening around that. So if you have a piece of paper, which you should right now, you should be writing these things down because these are the things that some of your classmates and your band brothers are writing down to understand. This is Mr. Kennedy teaching again. So it's not, I don't want y'all to see another paper from Theo or Teresa or anyone else like, man, they just doing it and I'm not being taught the same thing. You are. You just not applying it in that way. You get what I'm saying? So what I want you guys to realize is that let me change this filter. I need a little bit darker my head. It's not as clear as I want it to be. What I want you guys to realize is that basically what's happening is that you are describing the elements in the music that's making it work with the arrangements and based off what you hear. Almost done. Let me get to this filter and I just need to bring this down just maybe take it down to 470. Boom, there we go. So that's what you're describing. So you want to pay attention to the unison parts, to the melody, things of that nature. Those are the things that we're trying to pay attention to. Cut this camera off. Those are the things that we're trying to pay attention to. So let's go ahead and get to this music, right? Let's get to looking at it and indulging in it. So this is a song called Clouds by Shaka Khan, right? So let's check this out. All right, Brooklyn, what I was saying, got you, Brooklyn. What I was saying about the counter melody. The counter melody is not as strong as the melody. So the counter is everything that's happening around the voice. The way that you learn about counter melodies, Brooklyn, is that you have to invest yourself in listening to the real songs. Because the more and more you listen to the real songs, you'll be able to tell what's the counter melody. It's kind of hard for you right now because you really invested in the band part. So you loving the music, you're loving the instrumentals, and everything is great. But where you confused at is when we start throwing these terms, and it's okay. You just now be coming into your 10th grade year, so it's a great thing that you're starting to catch this so early, right? Theo didn't get this stuff until the end of last year, until he started writing. So technically, you're ahead of him right now if you understand, and that goes for the rest of my 9th graders and 10th graders. You get what I'm saying? The counter melody is everything that's happening around the melody. You get what I'm saying? And what makes it the counter is that it's countering it. It doesn't go with it. It's not the same, but yet it is important or just important to the song. So those are things you want to find out and point out. When you're hearing the arrangements, you want to say if the counter melodies was just good. When you listen to the original arrangement, you listening for the melody. And then when you listening to the band arrangement, you trying to see if they did the melody well. Did they use unison parts in the melody? Who they use unison with? The melody was played by this section and this section. The counter melody was played by this section. And then you get in more depth by saying the counter melody was played by this section at the timestamp. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, the mellophones played the counter melody that was in the original song at 33 seconds. You can know this by if you go back and play. You just become more in depth with explaining what it is that you want to explain. So let's check this out.
Different shapes and sizes, hide the horizon. In the distance, coming to change my plans. All my dreams will melt like sand. The moment that you say goodbye, gonna rush right to the sky.
So if we listening right here, this would be the melody, right? If we had to break down the melody right now at 44 seconds, from 44 seconds to whenever I just stopped it, we know the melody is the you can hear it. That's the main part, right? Listen. So if we go back, now we're going to find the counter melody. It's several things that's happening, right? So the guitar riff that's coming in the right side of your speaker would be considered the counter melody. Check it out. Listen. So that's something you would give to the next section, or you might not even hear it in his arrangement, but that's something that's there. My teams is muted. So that's something that might not even be, or you might not even hear it in his arrangement. That's something that might not even be in his arrangement, right? My bad, I had to do a little pause. Braylon, that echo might be coming from your end because I'm muted on my teams. Like y'all not catching the audio. Teams is not catching my mic right now. So back to what I was saying, Brooklyn, that we're listening to this guitar part. If you listen to that's a counter melody because that's happening in the background on top of the melody. Listen. You hear it? Now, then when we go back, you hear some voices. You hear some voices. You're gonna hear a baby, baby. These are things that you can use. Now we know the chords is there. You know what I'm saying? The chords is there. That's all. That's what's allowing her to sing on top. The chords is Those are chords. That's the your chords is there, right? Boom. So right here we get to the chorus, right? We have ba-da-da, then you have a counter. Ba-da-da, rain. Look, a call and response. A call and response means someone is calling out and then another instrument or section or voice responds. So you can typically tell this in most songs because it's usually the same lyric. It's gonna rain, rain, Call and responses are usually the exact same melody happening back and forth. Now, the advanced level will be someone saying, it's gonna rain. That will be a call. It's gonna rain. Like if I do woo-doo-doo-woo, that's advanced level call and response, but typically you're not going to do that if you can't really teach it and explain it. But the call and response is literally when you heard Theo talking about call and response is because the same melody was being brought out from two different sections, but it was one instrument would call it, then the next instrument would call it, and this is a good example of hearing it. Listen, it's gonna rain, 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 rain out. So right there, when it went down, but a rain down, if that's in the music, 9 times out of 10, that's going to be a unison part that's going to be double. You know what I'm saying? It's not just going to be one section playing that part because that melody is prominent. But when that's happening, you still hear that counter melody. You hear that? Look at the mellows right there. Bum, 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 bum. So keep playing it. Bum, 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 bum. That's counter melody. It's the next part. So we're going to go to the next part of the song that Brian used. Right? So we're going to go here. Right here. So in his arrangement, if we were analyzing this, you would say Mr. Simmons or the arranger or the composer then proceeded to skip to 2 minutes and 41 seconds in the original piece, but it happens at 1 minute and 30 seconds in the band arrangement, because this part right here is not at the same time as it is in the actual arrangement, because a band is not going to play all that for 2 minutes and 41 seconds and then now go to this part. So you would tell me that. You would analyze the fact that he cut out the whole second verse and went straight to the bridge, which is this part right here. The guitar right now would be the main melody. Now, this part right here, there's no main melody. This is called polyphonic texture. It's multiple melodies happening at once. Everything got equal value. All this stuff is happening at once. When multiple things are happening at once, that's called polyphonic texture. Polyphonic texture. P-O-L-Y. Poly means many. Polyphonic is referring to sound. Phonic. Polyphonic texture. Multiple voices. Meaning there are several melodies happening at once. Not that there's a main melody and a counter melody around it, but there are several melodies happening at once. If everybody understand what I'm saying, I need all 24 people in the comment to drop some fire and say, we got that, Mr. Kennedy. We understand what polyphonic texture is. And you're going to spell polyphonic texture, Polyphonic texture, Texture. Go ahead and do that for me if you understand what I'm saying, so I can know I can keep going on. To drop some fire and say, we got that, Mr. Kennedy. We understand what polyphonic texture is. And you're going to spell polyphonic texture, Polyphonic texture, Texture. Go ahead and do that for me if you understand what I'm saying, so I can know I can keep going on. All right, cool. So we got that. If you guys were hearing an echo, that was only because I had my cell phone just making sure that you guys could making sure that the audio was clear. So okay, cool. I see Antarius gets it, Braylon gets it. I mean, Brooklyn, do you got it? Because you just saying we got it. You know what I'm saying? I need you to write down what the word is. Polyphonic texture. Use the word. Put it a part of your terms. So if we're listening, this is what polyphonic texture is. See all these different melodies? Everybody, it's just so much. It's a lot that's going on. Right? It's everything going on. Wait, who is QWERTY Letters? Who is QWERTY Letters? I need to know who that is. Who is QWERTY Letters? Brooklyn, I need you to spell it out for me, girl. I need you to put Polyphonic. I need you to spell it out for me. I need you to use that word. I need you to make it a part of your normal vocabulary. All right, cool. So now we're going to go to the actual band arrangement. And we're going to see if we can catch. Next word that I need y'all to drop in the group is monophonic texture. And I told y'all what it means. I need you to drop monophonic texture in the comments with the definition. All 24 of you guys. I need monophonic texture and the definition. That's what I need you to comment. Monophonic texture and the definition. This is how you're going to get the participation points. I'm not going to tell you what it means because I already told you. I don't need you to wait for somebody else to tell me what it means. I need you to do it. Monophonic texture. I need that in the comment. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and listen to Southern University playing Clouds, and we're going to check out some of the things that they did, and then you guys can go. The next class don't start at 2:18. It starts 2 minutes from now. They just got the class starting early, boy. Don't try to leave out on me. Get this information while the getting is good. So right out the gate, they sped it up. See, the baritone's got the main melody. The trombones is playing the chords with the bass line. That's the counter melody. You hear the counter melody? So right here, the baritones has got the counter melody because we all know that that's the melody. We know what the melody is, but the baritones is playing the counter melody. You wouldn't have known that if we didn't hear if we never. Now this is what Southern do. Southern will take a song that if we know what the melody is, but if you didn't know, it would have sounded like polyphonic texture because the baritones are playing so confidently. This is one of the evolutions to arranging, being able to showcase the melody while having a counter melody. Look at Braylon back there smiling next to Elijah. I see y'all. I just want y'all to know y'all are always going to be around greatness, y'all. Always. Monophonic texture means unison. Monophonic texture means unison. It means everybody is playing the same part. I mean, everybody is playing the same melody, singing the same melody. Monophonic texture. That's what that means. Unison line. No counter. Everybody's on the same part. Like right now, if y'all all were saying the same thing as me, we're all speaking in monophonic texture. He may have a counter over there, but we're all in monophonic. The trumpets, the mellows, and baritone, we all playing the same thing. Monophonic texture. If you notice, the mellows and trumpets are in monophonic texture right now. The only people that's playing the call and response is only happening between the upper brass and the baritones. The mellows and trumpets is playing the same thing. The mellows just below to my octave, sending that. Listen. Thank you, Gotti. Tell him how wrong he is. You so wrong. You so wrong. Everybody's on the same part, man. Great job today. I'll go ahead and see y'all. I will see y'all at 3:30, where we'll continue to discuss. I'll see y'all today at 3:30 for after school, man. I love y'all. Peace. And Emmanuel, you're wrong. Emmanuel, you're wrong. They right. They right. Go ahead, go to your next class. All right, while we get ready, I have my 8th hour now getting ready to come in now. So 8th hour class is getting ready to come in. I'm going to the 8th hour as we speak to let them know where we are. Not going to do anything no different there. I'm going to keep the mic on. Go ahead and view my lobby. I got a whole cloud. 8th hour is all here. They all are all here, and they are all waiting. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and let them know. So what's good, man? I know y'all can't hear me. It's okay. Go straight to the live. Let me go ahead and go ahead and drop it in there. View lobby. My 8th hour class is on their way in here. Those of y'all that's still in here from 8th hour, can y'all put it in the group? Tell Miss Kennedy say go straight to the live while I'm in them in there. Let everybody know go straight to the live. I'm getting ready to post a link to the live for you guys. I know y'all can't hear me. Let's go ahead and copy this real quickly for them. Copy. Head to Teams. Give me a few seconds. Want to load this up for my kids. Boom. And then we here. View SICs. Go organization. Paste this link right here. Boom. Click save. Boom. Ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-da-da-dum. All right, cool. So we're gonna run through while you got now we're gonna get ready. Welcome. I just want to welcome you. If you're new to my channel, you just happen to be stopped by. This is how we do learn. We are now in 8th hour senior band, and we're going to be discussing tricks to understanding how to get the analytics and analyzing music. So that's what we're on now. and they are all on their way to the live. So I'm sending them the request, sending them the link to being alive. All right, once my 8th hour, once you guys get into the live, I need y'all to go ahead and make a comment. Drop a comment in the live. Say, hey, Mr. Kennedy, we are here. We are in the live. Once y'all get in the live, all I need you to do is just drop a comment and say, Mr. Kennedy, we are here. We are in the live. That's what I need y'all to do when y'all get situated and in the live. So I'm going to go ahead and wait until I get some comments from you guys. I'm going to sit back, relax, and wait till all my students get into my live and situated. And then we're going to go ahead and get 8th hour on and rolling with Musical Analysis Fridays as they prepare for the work week that's coming up. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and wait for them. Once you guys remember, once you get in the live, just need you to comment and say, Mr. K, we here. We in the live. That's all I need you to do. Hey, Brooklyn. B-D-D, B-wee, ba-da-da-da-dum. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. I got Cortland here. Cortland in the house today. Look, Theo is in the house today. I see you, Theo. I got Cortland in the house. Theo in the house. Hey, V in the house today. Ba-da-da. It should be 23 people in the live today. It should be 23 people in the chat. I don't got all 23. I'm going to have a problem. Hey, I need all 23 people in here. It's 23 attendees. I need all 23. I need all 23 of y'all in my live. I need all 23 of y'all in here. Let's go. Hey, I need all 23 people in here. It's 23 attendees. I need all 23. I need all 23 of y'all in my live. I need all 23 of y'all in here. Let's go. Yeah, Brooklyn, you can definitely still answer a question. That's fine. What's up, Jordan? I see you. Jesus, what's going on, Jesus? Who is that Sokiera? Who is that? Jacoby, I see you. Jacoby, I see you. You, that man. Good, good. Rico, what's going on? Q, what's up, brother? I see you. Jacoby is here. All right, I'm still missing Lakeitha, Kyla. Kevin is not here. Keith not here. Quintario Nelson not there. I don't see my girl Raina not here. Teresha not here. Where's Teresa? Where's Teresa? Where's Tony? Where's Trevor? And can y'all please let them know how to get in the live? I don't want to keep going back and forth to Microsoft Teams. It creates an echo. I gotta wait for the pause. That's just too much work, and y'all should know how this live stuff work by now. Okay, I see Teresa. There go Teresa. Teresa here. Somebody unmute and let Q know how to get there. Dakota here. My bad, Teresa. Dakota's here. I see Dakota. Boo-doo-doo. Bum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum. Waiting on Brontrell. Who is Stickers TV? Okay, Trevor's here. Angelo is here. Angelo! I told you I was going to get you in the class, baby. Didn't I tell you? I told you I was going to get you in the class. I ain't going to leave you hanging, man. I'm not going to leave you hanging. Okay, Kyle is here. Kyle. Ba-da-da, boom, boom, ba-da-da-da-da. All right, good. I'm still waiting on Lakeitha. Still waiting on Lakeitha. If y'all got to be active, so please understand, if you're in a live, the way that you get your points is that I'm going to ask certain questions, and everyone has to comment. And I could go back and look at this. If I don't see a comment, you get a 0 for participation. If I don't see you answer, 0 for participation. So I don't got any more time to waste. I'm going to get home right on with the lesson. So the last time that we did a musical analyzation, like I said before, they come in every weekend. Had a lot of people that was nervous about what was going on. You were unsure. You just didn't have the confidence to be as great as you could be. Oh my God, I'm having deja vu. That must mean good things is about to happen. So we're going to take the time. Well, not even take the time. This is what I'll do. Every Friday, I'm going to analyze a different song to help you get used to using these tunes, using these terms. So the first thing you need to be doing, of course, if you don't have a pencil and piece of paper out, you need to have a pencil and piece of paper out so you understand what it is that we're talking about. So the first 3 terms that I'm going to need you guys to write down, the first 3 textures. First 3 textures. There's 3 musical textures. The first one is, I'm gonna put it in my tab so you'll see it. Monophonic texture. MONOPHONIC texture. That's one texture, right? MONOPHONIC texture. That's one. The next one you have is polyphonic texture. Polyphonic texture. That is the next one. The next one is called polyphonic texture. Polyphonic texture. Trying to do it so you guys can see it as much as. The next one is called polyphonic texture. POLYPHONIC. That's polyphonic texture. And then the last one, the very last one, is homo, meaning same, homophonic texture. Homophonic texture. Homophonic texture. So I'm going to explain each one of these 3. And then we're going to get to talking about the songs and how you can understand it. So when you do analyze your next song, which is the love ballad, and then the arrangement is the arrangement by Jackson State, you will feel more comfortable, right? So what I need everybody to do, I need you to write down in the comments. I need you to go ahead and put all 3 textures so I can make sure. I need all 28 people to write all 3 textures. I need monophonic, homophonic, polyphonic textures. That's what I need your comment to be. I need that to happen instantly. That's what I need you to do so I can make sure you're on page. If I don't see your name later on, it's going to be a 0 for the day, and that's what I got to say. That's how it's going to roll. So I'm going to continue, and it's time for me to hit play on the music. So we're going to analyze today Shaka Khan's Clouds, right? We have approximately 27 minutes to analyze this. We have 27 minutes. So I need you guys to make all 3 textures. Write down polyphonic, monophonic, and homophonic. Make that your comment, just like what I'm about to do right now. See, check this out. Polyphonic, homophonic, and monophonic texture. Boom. One post, all of them there. That's what I need to make sure you guys are on page. That is our check for understanding daily. Your comments in the post. I need to be able to know that you're paying attention, because if you're not, I'm just going to fail you and keep you moving. And I might kick you out the band for not paying attention now, because if I'm going through all this, then I expect you guys to be doing the same. So monophonic texture is the very first one. Monophonic texture is typically everything we hear. Now, you really get a good understanding of monophonic texture when choirs are singing. And it's going to be hard to explain it, but I'm going to explain it in the simplest ways possible with music. Mono means one. Unison. Everybody is playing the exact same notes, same part, same melody. If there's any moment in any piece of music where every instrumentalist, I mean, not every instrument, where sections, where two or more sections are playing the same part at the same time without any chords at all, that is called monophonic texture. If you got that, I need you to drop some fire in the comments and say, I got that, Mr. Kennedy. If you don't got it, say, explain it to me one more time, Pops. That's what I need you to do. I'm going to say it one more time. Monophonic texture. It can be easily explained in choirs and in band. It can be easily explained. Now, in music, it's kind of hard to tell because there's always one person to sing the melody. But the actual definition of it, mono means one. Means one. Now, in a band, there is not just one person or one section. So, the understanding that with music, the texture is that when more than two or more people, or more than one or more people, are playing the same melody, the same notes, no chords, no harmony, they just all on the same part. Give me some of that. Y'all know I be like, monophonic texture, turn that part out. That's all unison. That's what that is. That's unison. That's what monophonic texture is. Now, homophonic texture. Thank you, Rico, for showing them how to drop some real fire. That's what fire is. Rico just dropped fire for y'all. If y'all didn't know what fire was, Rico just dropped fire for y'all. Now, homophonic texture. Homophonic texture. Homo, the original word derivative from, means same. Homo means same. So, homophonic texture is when people are playing the same part, but it is chords. It's just like mono, except the difference is that it's multiple voices playing different sounds, but at the same time. That's homophonic texture. So, for an example, if the melody was, whoa, whoa. Now, right now, I'm singing monophonic, and I tell the whole band, we all singing the same part. Monophonic texture. We all do it. Whoa. Even if the person takes it down. Whoa. Whoa. We are all right now in monophonic texture. Now, homophonic texture would have been if I would have told my altos, my girls in the band to give me, whoa, whoa. And then I'll go to my males and I say, I need y'all to give me, whoa, 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 whoa. If I put both of those parts together happening at the same time, so I got the whoa and the whoa, if I got them happening at the same time, it's going to create harmony and a chord. When that's happening, that's called homophonic texture. So anytime you hear an arrangement where the melody has chords and they got harmony on the same melody, you instantly know that's homophonic texture. I mean, when you hear a real song and they're singing it, and then whatever they singing, you know what I'm saying? It could be needing me. If she would have said, with that part happening, that would have been homophonic texture. And in the band arrangement, if the composer does that and use that, then that's what you write down. They use the same homophonic texture from the original piece. All you're doing is describing the traits that is happening. So if you caught on to what homophonic texture is, I need you to put homo in the comments. H-O-M-O. That's what I need you to drop. Just H-O-M-O, 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 H-O-M-O. Because you understand that homo means same and it means chorus. If you get that, I need to see that from all 23 students in my 8th-hour class. I know what I'm looking for, and I can't wait to give an F for the kids that's not paying attention. Because if I'm taking this much time to teach you, you should be what? Taking that much time to learn. And at any point in time, you can unmute your mic and say something to me, and I'm going to answer it about 10 seconds later, but it will be answered. You can talk to me directly at any point in time you want to. All right, let's get to this music. So we're going to take it from the top. So right out of the gate, this run, If we go have a whole band playing, it's gonna be monophonic texture. If you heard the arrangement and somebody put chords, then that would have been homophonic texture, and you would have said something like, the original arrangement at 14 seconds on the run was all unison. It was monophonic texture. But in the arrangement the composer did at whatever seconds the run happened, he used homophonic texture by having the melody or the run be played by chords. Did y'all see how I just said that? That's what y'all got to be able to do. You got to be able to say what these terms mean, baby. You got to be able to use them. So we're going to go ahead and keep listening. Here we go.
Different shapes and sizes.
So the first thing we want to understand is counter melody. You should be writing this down. Once you hear me say this, I need you to go ahead and put in the comments right now, counter melody. Counter melody. Counter melody. 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 Counter melody. This is saying that something. Once you hear me say this, I need you to go ahead and put in the comments right now, counter melody. So first thing I'm on your head, I don't got 28 homos like I should have. There should be 23 comments of homo for me to let everybody know that you understood homo. So that's the first thing you will be graded off for. But now I'm asking for counter melody. That's what I'm on now. Counter melody is what we're talking about, right? Counter melody. COUNTERMELODY. Counter melody is simply describing that there is something that is transpiring that is not as important as the melody, but it is important, which is why it says counter melody, because we know the melody is always the main part of a song. The melody is what makes a song. So if we have something called the counter melody, we know that the counter melody does what? You can unmute yourself and say it. I'm already be ahead of you, but I just want to hear you say it. The counter melody would be doing what? What would it do? It is just an alternate verse. It's a sub part of the melody. It's just as important. You get what I'm saying? But it's just not the main melody. So the way that you typically can tell the counter melody is never the chords in the background. You're never going to hear bum, 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 bum. Whatever the chords is, the foundation of the song, that's not going to be your counter melody. So right now we're going to try to find out what the counter melody is. We know the melody is going to be whatever she's singing. Typically in real songs, the counter melody is always the instruments. The counter melody, it counteracts them. So we're going to go ahead and take a look. We're going to go ahead and take a listen to this, right? So we're trying to find the counter melody that's happening. I can tell you right now, it's from the guitar and it's coming in the right speaker. So I'm going to explain the counter melody again for Brozart before we even get to it. The counter melody, Brozart, is the opposite of the melody. The melody is the most important part to a song. But the counter melody is just as important, hence the name counter melody. It has that substance in it, but it's never going to overshadow the melody, Brozart. Typically in real life songs, the counter melody is always the instruments that's happening around the vocals. In a band arrangement, it's a little bit harder to tell what the counter melody is if someone doesn't write the melody well. So this is why when you're analyzing these pieces, you really got to listen to both. Because when you know the melody, you can hear the melody in the arrangement. And everything else is a counter. The counter melody is the outside. So we're going to listen to that, right?
In the distance, coming to change my plans. All my dreams will melt like sand.
It's really not too many counter melodies in the melody right now. It's just you got the chorus and the melody. Listen.
In the distance, coming to change my plans. All my
you got that that was a lot that it was something right there, but ain't too much going on. Listen.
In the distance, coming to change my plans. All my dreams will melt like sand. The moment that you say goodbye, gonna rush right to the sky.
So right here is where we're going to get a chance to really get your first taste of what a counter melody is. So the main melody of the song is the whoa, 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 whoa. Anything that's happening around that is a counter melody, because the melody, we're listening to the real track. We know what the melody is. We hear the voice. So we know what the melody is, but everything is around that. So you're going to hear a whoa, and right here you're going to hear ba-da-dum-dum, whoa, da-dum-bum-ba-dum, whoa, ba-da-dum-dum, whoa, ba-dum-bum-ba-dum. That ba-da-da-dum would have been a counter melody. Now, it's my choice as the composer, or you as the listener, to determine who played it, the mellophone, the baritone, or the French horn, but that is the counter melody. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. All right, now we about to get our first taste of what call and response is. Call and response only refers to when a melody is calling out another melody. You cannot call, when you call someone, they respond with what you give them. So what I mean when I'm saying, hey, 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 that would be call and response. This wouldn't be call and response. Hey, yeah, oh yeah. That's not calling and response. Technically, we don't know which one is the melody in that instance, and I'm going to get to that. That would be polyphonic texture. We're going to get to that in a second. We don't know which one is the melody, but call and response is when the melody is calling each other back and forth. So we got to see our first taste of call and response in this piece right here at about 56 seconds. Here we go. Gonna rain, gonna rain, fire down. So right there, if you notice that when she does that, rain and you, then you're going to hear bum, 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 bum. That would be a counter melody. We know what the melody is, but that little part right there, the song wouldn't be the song without that bum, 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 bum. So that's the counter melody. It's countering the actual melody. It's not a call and response because it's not the same as when she was saying, it's going to rain, rain, You could put all the homophonic texture you want. See, we're right here when she said rain, that was monophonic. It's gonna rain, that was monophonic. On the response, that was homophonic texture. It's gonna rain, chorus, gonna rain, homophonic texture. Y'all see that? That's how that works right there, right? Right. We're gonna keep going. Rain, homophonic texture, counter, ba-dum-bum-bum, counter melody, rain, call and response, homophonic, rain. Cool. So now the song loops, but Mr. Simmons, he goes to about 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the piece. He does the first verse and then he goes straight here after that. So you would have had to we would have put that in your music. You would have said something in the original. The Mr. Simmons goes to 2 minutes and 39 seconds, but in the piece, but he does this at 1 minute and 14 seconds in his arrangement, whereas in the original song it happens after the second melody. So that right there, you're analyzing the fact that he completely cut off. You're analyzing the fact that he completely took out the second verse. That's what I just analyzed. Knowing that, listen to this song, because all this right here is the same thing we heard in the first verse. Now, granted, the second verse, he used some licks and some counter melodies to put it in his first verse arrangement part that he written. So he put both of these together, and then after he did that, he's going to go here in the actual piece. Now we're going to learn about the very last texture. The very last texture is called polyphonic texture, which means multiple voices. Multiple melodies happening at once. Remember how I was just singing a melody and I said that's not a call or response because we don't know which one is the melody? That's what's about to happen. When everything is happening, it's all given equal value. That's called polyphonic texture. That's like cannons, rounds. Roll, 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 roll. You bend it down, gently down. Melly, 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 melly. Life is but a life is but. That's not call and response because you get it. It's two separate melodies happening at the same time, simultaneously, which creates polyphonic texture. In instruments, it's when we got multiple things happening at once to create music. That's polyphonic texture. So check it out. Listen, watch. Also, you would have analyzed how he goes to a modulation to the major chord. Listen. Modulation. You would have tried, if you were analyzing it on a deeper level, you would have figured out what that bottom note was from the tuba, that bing, bing, bing. So you would have said the bass line went from boom, 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 boom to bing, bing, bing. You would have found out what that note was and said that was that chord. So boom, 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 and bing. That's where the modulation happened. You can hear it. And bing. Give you an example. The melody is what instrument? Unmute yourself and tell me, what do you think the melody is right now? What instrument is playing the melody? I got a cash out for whatever instrument you think playing the melody. This is polyphonic texture. Look at all this stuff happen at once. You don't know what's the main melody. This is polyphonic texture. Organized chaos at its best. Back to the root. Bing, boom, bing. Cool. So let's go ahead and check out the actual Southern version. Yeah, it was. It was a guitar. Shout out to you, Theo. It was a guitar. The guitar was the main melody at that point. Theo is correct. Yeah, it was the guitar. Yeah, he beat y'all. He beat y'all. Theo beat y'all. Theo beat y'all. All right, so let's go ahead and put in SU Clouds, and we're going to analyze the arrangement. Let's go ahead. Kyla, you was wrong. It was a regular guitar. The bass guitar would have gave you that bing boom boom bang. That gave you that. That's guitar, Kyla. So the guitar is a little bit high, more high pitched than the bass. That's guitar. Bass is bing 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 bing. That's where the bass at. First thing you would have said in analyzation, the composer, Mr. Simmons, sped the piece up from the original tempo. That's the first thing you paid attention. See how the run is monophonic? The whole band is playing the same part. No chords, no nothing. So we know the bones and the bass line is there, but look who's playing the melody, the baritone. Simple. And you're not even going to hear that much counter of it. Watch this. See right there, if you listen to it was a monophonic texture between the trumpets and mellows when they came in. They both was playing the same part. The baritones had the counter. The trumpets and the mellows was on monophonic. Same notes. They blowing. These notes ain't different. One is below the other, and they just giving it they all. That's why it sounds so clear like that. It sounds stacked and powerful. See, listen. See how they come in? Zwata! That's monophonic right there. So trumpets and baritones right now are the counter. The mellophones is the melody because we don't heard the real song. We know that we know that's the melody. So out there in the crowd, everybody is like, man, it sounds polyphonic texture out there in the crowd. It sounds like everybody. It just sounds like everybody's playing the melody. The trumpets could have a melody. We don't know who the melody is. It sounds like the mellows is on the counter. But that's the new evolution of writing. You got to be a good writer to be able to create polyphonic texture and make music out of it. That's what makes Brian special. That's what makes me unique. And any kid who's willing to learn from me, that's what's going to make you beyond the average writer. These are gifts that I can't explain. And I don't even know if Brian even understands it to this level or if he's just writing what he thinks he likes. But I get this stuff. And I'm breaking it down to y'all. The mellophones they're the ones that singing the melody. You get what I'm saying? It's the mellophones. Everybody else is just playing counters around it. So that's what. But it sounds like polyphonic texture. But because we know the real song, we understand what's happening. But to the viewer, they just like, oh, this is amazing. But it's really just writing what's there in the paper. With that, I love you. That's what the trumpets is playing, just way up an octave. So it just sounds like random shit that's powerful, but it's not. It's there. It's in the music. And then you see it the second time he switched it off to the baritones and gave it to them and gave the mellophones homophonic texture and gave them a chord. So it now sounds better. Listen. See how they was on the wood up, whoop, but the Beatles was on the wood up, whoop. That gave you a chord, right? I love y'all, man. Here comes the call and response. Now we got the call and responses happening between the baritones, and then it jumps to the mellows and the trumpets and the mellows. I mean, just listen. You can hear what's happening. I'm gonna just let it ride, but you can hear it ain't nothing but people helping each other out in this band. Just a lot of people doing it. Look at that. The trumpets and mellows play the same thing. Bum ba dum bum ba dum. I can tell you right now, that's D F G F D F. Something simple. And see, now that I'm analyzing it, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I guarantee you, unmute your mic, tell me if it's true. If you're really paying attention, this song has now become easy, hasn't it? I can tell you right now, that's D F G F D F. Something. So you can unmute your mic and say it, but me breaking it down this way, I guarantee now the song is coming to be easier now. That was a call and response right there. Y'all see it? The mellows, baritones right here. Check this out. Polyphonic texture. Well, see, my thing is, and Brian does this a lot, but I think that has to do with him being spoiled. You know what I'm saying? Until you actually get into a program where you have to teach kids and you have to build from the ground up, you get what I'm saying? I've yet to see if that's possible from him. You get what I'm saying? It's easy to move the melody around when you got kids that come to an institution to be great and to be those players. But when you have to build players up and move the melody around and create arrangements and stuff like that, it makes it more complicated. This is why I think you guys are some of the most elite musicians. And I promise if we ever just get it and I tap into y'all true potential, I think y'all will literally be the best high school band ever built. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because I've never seen a high school band have an arrangement that transcended to being better than every college arrangement. There's colleges won't even play the box no more because you guys have played it so well. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. I'll meet y'all in the teams and we'll continue to discuss, have a little discussion at the end of it, and then we'll wrap it up.